G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. This episode will be the Road to World Time Attack. We've been lucky enough to do the drifting exhibitions there in the first weekend of September. It's now the first weekend of August, so we have a bit over 4 weeks to try and get the car overhauled on the trailer and then heading down there to do the event. What we're going to do is pull the motor and everything out. We're going to take the engine bay back to bare metal so we can get it repainted. I'm not super happy with how the paint's been flaking in a few areas and it just looks worse and worse every time I drive it and wash it. So we're going to do that, but before we can do that, I need to remake the front passenger side guard where I'm going to put a sheet metal flare in it. Today I've got to shrink it, weld that in, make sure it's all good and it fits the car properly. So we're going to put that into a standard steel front guard. We're also going to be overhauling the interior and just cleaning a few things up, bringing it back up to standard because I haven't driven the car in a while. So we'll put new harnesses in, I'll finish putting the S15 dash in and a few other little bits and pieces to make it look $1 million. The last thing that we're going to do before heading down there, which is a little bit stressful, is I have a straight cut gear set to go in the gearbox because, as you know, I've been breaking gearboxes every time I drive the car. The issue with that is it's an R154 gear set, which is slightly different to an R150, which is the model I use to get the shifter in the right position. There'll be a little bit of customization to make that work. Other than that, I'm pretty confident that we're going to make it and we'll make the car look $1 million. So I'll stop yabbering on and we'll get to work. So I've just taken the time to try and get these gaps good before I cut it out. So at the moment, this is actually holding the car up. So the guard actually sits pretty close to this little groove in the tire there. So that's under all the weight there. So if I go drifting on that, it's just gonna rip the guard off. Next up, what I pretty much need to do is mark in here. I'm gonna cut that section out. Before I do that, I make the new guard and I sit it over the top and I'll cleco it in position so I know it's going to be right. Tack that in or just leave the clecos in and then pull the guard back off and cut that little section out. That holds it in the position because once you cut that return lip off, it goes all floppy and fights you a little bit. So pretty happy with how that fits. I'll quickly cut that out and do that. We'll move on to getting the flare on. Hopefully I've cut it to the right shape, otherwise I'll have to recut another one and start again. So this is the flare. You can see it's got a little bit of a tipped edge there on the inside. So all these little increments are where I'm actually going to shrink it in my shrinker just there, and then that'll actually give the guard its shape. So you sit it on the ground, you'll see this edge is raised up, and that's just what happens when I've returned that edge. So it'll look like this one here. That's just that little return edge that goes along and just gives the guard a little bit more strength. So this is the first guard that I've made. It fits very, very nice all the way up and around. Down on the body marks, I just need to cut a little bit off. Unfortunately, this one is about 40 mil bigger than factory. The standard guard's still in there, as you can see. Same height. I need about 25 mil because I lost my template. I just did this one by eye and by feel, and it is just a touch too wide. So now I'm just going to go cut another one and shrink it. But I've drawn this one in CAD. If any S-chassis dude wants to run a big front guard on their car, this is a 40 mil front guard. I'm going to offer this as a product on the Everyday Engineering website, and I will also do a 25 mil front guard that can be welded in. And the way I make these is super subtle. Like the angle on this flare is not super aggressive. So by the time it's painted and blended in, you can even continue the standard body line into the filler in the car and it looks like a standard guard, as the front of my guards currently do. Anyway, no thing is a bad thing, it's just more work. So I'll use this one as a template from now on, and I'll go cut some more and shrink it and see how we go. That's my old guard. You can see the bogs cracked out of here from where I gave tyre nudge in the front. The other guard copped a heat, but that's the 40 mil flare. This one here is a 25 mil one that I've made a little bit shorter. So when I push that in, fit up's really good. Return edge looks like it's flared. And that is a 25 mil standard guard in there. So it's a 25 mil gap, 25 mil wider. So I raised the front of the car because just here, it kept rubbing and cutting the tyre up. As you can see, it caught a guard and wrecked the tyre. So now I can actually lower the car another 20 mil, which is why I wanted to originally remake these flares. So that's awesome. I'm gonna knock some paint off and start buzzing them in. I'll have these on the Everyday Engineering side as well. So if you want to buy a 40 mil front for the big boys with 18s that run a, want to run a 10 with negative offset on the front, or you can do a 25mm without doing fiberglass guards. You can just weld these in, and then yeah, bit of filler and then color, and it'll look $1 million. So these will be on the site soon.
Promise you that I won't take it. Promise you that I won't take it easy. Take it easy. Promise you that I won't take it easy. Take it easy. Promise you that I won't take it.
The thing that you might want to take into account if you're doing any sheet metal pretty much on a car, if you've seen in the time lapse, I'll try and slow it down so you can see it, you'll see that I was actually taking my welding glove off throughout welding it. So every pass I would do on it, leaving like an inch between tacks, I'll then blow it down with the air gun, and if I couldn't touch it with my bare hands, it's already too hot to start welding because you'll warp the panel. So little trick that Brett taught me when he first taught me how to do flares. So yeah, if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to weld. Keep cooling it down with the air gun, and then yeah, separate your tacks 1 inch at a time until they all eventually link up. I know it's annoying, but it's the easiest way to do it that I've found. And if you have a better way, tell me in the comments, because I'm all for learning. Oh, bloody done it again. Once again, enjoy that, because that was a time lapse and a full explanation. Pretty much what I said is I've roughly guarded in now. I've spot welded it all the way up and over, and then I've just quickly hit it with a brand new flapper wheel. Just take the high spots off. What that does is it actually lets you see all the little bits that you've missed in there. You don't have to get it perfect, because that'll get a small skim of bog in it to blend it out smooth with the panel, or you can get it perfect and make it a sharp edge so you can actually tell it's got a flare. I like to blend it in, so I'm not going to do that. But tomorrow I'll whiz it back with the 90-degree die grinder with a 36 grit disc on it, and then I'll make that transition nice and smooth. Then I'll fill it, and then high fill it, and then, sorry, I'll epoxy it, then high fill it, and then block it all down and then paint it. So pretty good progress for tonight. I don't want to go annoying my neighbours, so I'll pack up, and then tomorrow morning I'll get back into it. I've given that a linish, and it's all back pretty much well flush. I didn't go too overboard like I normally do, because as I said before, it gets a skim of bog in it, which I'm about to do now. Fill it, get it ready for paint. I'm going to also block up the hole in here, the indicator hole, because these are ADM guards. I'll blank that off and then file that back, and then yeah, prep it for paint. Hopefully this week I can get this guard and the other guard in orange. Then the car will look like a car again. After that, we need to pull the motor out and everything in the engine bay, because it's going to go back to Hock, and he's going to repaint the bay, try and fix up a few little imperfections, and then we'll ceramic coat the rear housing, the dump pipe and the manifold, hopefully to try and keep a little bit of heat away from the paint to stop it from happening again. But relatively happy with how these have gone. Yeah, it's probably about midday now, so I'm going to make some more noise before I annoy the neighbours. If you really wanted, you can chase this all the way out, but you end up welding like way up into here, and you put like 2 layers of weld on it before you get it all the way out. The other option is you can use a little finger sander and then get right in there and then get it out, or use a cut-off blade. But for what happens, it's not really worth it in my opinion. But yeah, if you want to do it with minimal bog and actually shape the flare into it, you can actually then just shape that nice sharp edge into it and then paint it. Next up, what I need to do is continue the body line into that filler. So I'll just get the edge of a really sharp block and then fold some 180 grit sandpaper over it and real lightly just work my way into the flare, and then I'll taper it out on both the in and the outside edge of it. That looks awesome. I'm stoked. So next up, I'm gonna pull the guard off the car. Tomorrow I'll go into work, I'll high fill it, then I'll block it down, and then I'll put color on it. Bit of a shame to pull that off, really. I've got to do a little repair down in the corner there, which means I need to pull all the stickers off the car and repaint that little section after it gets fixed. Last event that I drove at Luddenham, one of the boys put a wheel in my door. This part here, which is now a big dent, luckily the over covers most of that, but the reason that those overs have lasted me, I think it's like 5 or 6 years now of just abusing the cars. Had so many hits and whatever, and they're still in one piece, so I haven't had to repair those ones yet, is because of this ghetto metal rod that I welded in years ago. It actually makes it so solid. Like, that's 5mm plate. It's only in a couple of spots, but the whole over grafts in around that, and it just holds it so well, and the wheel can take an absolute beating up against it. Like, you can see on the sidewall of this is worn off on the rod, but the over's still in mint condition. That wheel, I worked out had a big issue, which is why it was rubbing. I think it's in one of my other videos, but you get the idea. It's reinforce it and it'll last forever. Save money on aero, spend money on tires and fuel and event entry and all the other expensive things. Perfect. Like I bought one. One day I'm going to put steel guards on this car. I need to find good quarters before I do, because this one is actually the good side. The other side is full of cellulite. I smashed a barrier a few years ago and hit it pretty much side on a water barrier, and it kinked that whole quarter, and it's all rippled now. And the way I drive and the way that I'm, you know, rubbing and racing with all my mates, it'll all the bog will come out of it. But anyway, one day I'll put quarters on it and we'll weld some steel ones in. I just wanted to show you how sick that looks. Ooh, one day I'll do it. Not today.
Check, we broadcasting, ain't nobody ask, we splashing. Beats that had boom, now we moving massive. Breaking you down in the bass, spitting acid. I'm back in my zone, the top gun of the Maverick. Like used elastics, bro, it's really not a stretch. These dudes is plastic, yo, they really not a threat. Looking chilly on the neck and out of pocket, I'm locked in. Presidential rollie, bust it down and give it drop kicks. Now let me pop off, make it look easy. I come through like, give me one reason that I can shut them down, switch up the season, freeze them, flash the cash and I'm cheesing. Lay it all down, cause there's no slowing up. I can send it up, I can send it up, I can send it. Make way when we all rolling up. I can send it up, I can send it up, I can send it. Straight to top of the tops now. We take them, make more, it's a lock now. Lay it all down, cause there's no slowing up. I can send it up, I can send it up, I can send it. Straight paper, no scissors, you get rocked. Big boulders get broke down from chip shots. Whole world in my hand, close my palm and stamp. Truck moving down the block like a chrome avalanche. Damn, I'm gliding in again, find it again. Flow tighter than a crime syndicate. Watch me shake up every time I wake up. K, getting raked up, sundown to wake up. Now let me pop off, make it look easy. I come through like, give me one reason that I can shut them down, switch up the season, freeze them, flash the cash and I'm cheesing. Lay it all down, cause there's no slowing up.
It is, what's today? There you go. 7th of August. We've got 3 weeks to get the car up and running. Tonight I've got to pull the gearbox out because Steve is going to give me a hand on Sunday to try and put the straight cut gear set in with all the new bits that we got, which is a bit of a Frankenstein box. There's a whole bunch of different parts that need to go in it. Then the motor and everything's going to come out. Brett is going to come around and give me a hand to take the whole bay back to bare metal. This week we've got a lot accomplished. We've done the flares, put them in, we've done all the bog work, we've then sent them all back, we've put colour on them. I've got my rear over fender repaired so it's ready for paint. I've painted a door. Now we're just hustling to get all this work done over the weekend, and then next week I can get the car done because it's going to go to Hock's Mod Shop to get the engine bay repainted. Super exciting, lots of work to do. Let's get back into it. Got the car jacked up pretty high now, ready to pull the gearbox out. And the fun thing about doing an engine bay and everything like this so it looks super clean is there's a bit of extra effort that has to go into your servicing and pulling everything apart. So in order to get the gearbox out, I have to drain the coolant, because down the bottom here all of the pipes are hard plumbed. Here's Ty rocking up with his bloody music. Hoon. Hey bud. Anyway, because all the radiator and everything's hard plumbed, I need to pull this out, pull the Wiggins clamp off, so then the motor can actually tilt back in the engine bay to be able to get the gearbox out. So it's a little bit of effort, but it's okay, it's not too bad, we know what it is. And in order to do that, I then need to take the swirl pod off the side of the head to be able to get this clamp off, because this is sleeved onto there, so it actually sleeves inside the bottom radiator pipe. Super annoying design, I wish I changed it, but anyway, it is what it is. So yank it out and we'll build it.
Tell you what's not annoying, 10 pack of hard rated, baby.
It must be Friday. Must be Friday. We've had a week, bud. We've got some stuff done.
We've had a week.
It's going to look worse before it looks better, right? So the good news is it still looks good as it is now, and it's only going to look better. So I'm excited to get it off to Hock so he can flick some more paint on it and fix the damaged areas, and happy days. Hopefully in a week's time, we'll be, yeah, ready to go. Tune in. Yeah, mate, so that's a gearbox, this is a mat, and we'll probably have dinner now, I reckon. What's 7:51? That's all right.
Yeah, we're doing good for time.
Another job that I've added to the list is to modify these caster brackets. The reason being is they're the lowest point on the car now. So these cop an absolute hiding, like the ones on that side have actually folded in underneath the Heim joint, and I've pried them out so many times. Every time I drive the car, if I go short on a ripple strip, these cop it before anything else does. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this pickup point up 25 mil or an inch. I'm then going to cut the whole bottom of this bracket off and then plate and gusset the bottom of it, similar to what you do your LCAs when you extend them. And then that's going to do two things. One, it's going to stop it from hitting the ground, so then the cross member will take all the hit. Being rear sump, cross member below the sump is all good. I'm happy for that. It also fixes the geometry, because this caster arm goes uphill like that, and then as your suspension travels, it exaggerates. So fixing that pickup point is also going to help with your tie rod angles as well. So the idea is to drop the link on the knuckle where the pickup point for the tie rod is, so you can get your tie rod angle equal with your LCA angle, and then what that does is that reduces your bump steer. So your arms are moving in unison together and they're not actually fighting each other. They're not getting shorter at a different rate or ratio. So that's the way I set my cars up, and I love the feel of them. It means I can drive it super aggressively, and I've got a lot of feedback on the wheel by doing that. Next is to fix the caster geometry, and yeah, happy days. parts are they, bud?
Just number 3, mate. Just got to super glue them back on again.
So I've done a good job. You can actually spin that. So that gearbox over there is the last of the good spares that we have. So that's going to be the spare gearbox, but we need to change the input shaft to the JZ input shaft and put the upgraded selector hub in that one. And then this one here is the one that we just pulled out of my car the other night. We're going to put the straight cut gear set in this one to hopefully hold the power and not have to change gearboxes every time we drive the car. If anyone watches this and is a gearbox builder or knows their way around a gearbox or whatnot, every single R-Series gearbox we've had this issue where the shift fork ends up getting really hot and changes color, and you can also see the wear on the inside of the hub there. If you know how or why that happens, because that's a brand new shift fork that we put in there as well. We're going to go to billet on the new box, but yeah, if you have any idea why or how, please let me know. Rightio. So we've got a new 3/4 spline shift hub. So these are upgraded because they're splined all the way around. The stock Toyota ones have 3 chunks of splines that are missing. These are the new keys that go inside here, which locate the synchro. So you can see that is like a rectangle shape, whereas inside the slider hub, that little groove down in there is where it actually locates in, and that's for a different style, which is in my current gearbox. So I now need to try and find the correct hub to suit this, which is Land Cruiser parts. Whereas over here, we're using Toyota parts, oh sorry, Hilux parts, which end up being those keys there, which are more of a rectangle shape. So yeah, anyway, that gear set won't go together today because we need to find that slider hub. So what we're going to do is put all the new bearings and everything on, and then we'll pull the spare gearbox apart because we know we can make that one work, and then put that together. So worst case, we can't get that together by time attack, we'll just take the spare one, which is what we normally use anyway, and hopefully it holds up. Rightio, it's 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. Unfortunately, we didn't get the straight cut gear set together. As I said before, I'm going to order a new slider hub for 3rd, 4th gear. We did manage to get the gear set together for the backup gearbox, which now has the upgraded 3rd, 4th selector hub, the longer input shaft. I need to order some circlips because the ones were missing on that box when we pulled them apart to hold the gear set together once the housings go on. And yeah, hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have a spare gearbox and the straight cut one. Worst case, I'll just throw the spare one in and hopefully it lasts well time attack. Heading home now where Brett, John and Ty are, giving me a hand to take the engine bay back to bare metal. So I'll quickly go home and try and get that done before it gets dark. And yeah, just think, bud, in 2 weekends time we can have a sleep.
Have a sleep in Sydney, that's about it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is Groundhog Day about 2 weeks ago.
I feel like I've already done this.
And then Groundhog Day for Brett 2 years ago. We're getting there, boys.
Yeah. Was it Sunday night?
Yeah.
Sunday night.
All you wanted to do, all Matt wanted to do was get the gearbox out on Friday night.
Yeah, so
and look where we are.
There's a plan.
What's going on, guys? It's Ty Jeff from Everyday Engineering, just giving you an update. We've got the livery off because Matt's doing a new livery. Brett's had some pizza, so he's good to go.
I'm good to go.
That looks absolutely phenomenal. Grey you are. You're as grey as the window.
That's my natural hair color, mate.
What's the time? 8:19, baby. Too early.
What do you reckon, mate?
I reckon I'm keen for a snooze.
We're 9:26. Sunday night,
Brett started. What time do you start doing this? 12:30?
12:30.
Yeah.
12:30 today. So Brett's done me a solid. He also brought John and Ty around, which I didn't
brought
really
myself.
know.
Brett didn't bring me.
Anyway, Brett brought Ty and John around to take the bay back. It's all done now. Super stoked because I would have had no chance in hell of getting this done. It goes to paint on Wednesday, which is 2 days away. So pretty much now I need to come home and fill all the rest of the holes, which I never got done in the first place. I've got to fix a few things on the tubs, fix where I hit Ty in the front. Yeah, and then it goes to Hock for paint on Wednesday. And then hopefully if everything aligns, I can get the car back on the weekend and I can start getting it ready to put it back together. But in that time, you'll see, I've got a whole bunch more work to do. So we're going to overhaul the whole front end. I'm going to put all the interior bits back in. I'm going to put my door and my kit and blah, 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 blah.
No sleep.
Stay tuned. I know I tuned out before, but please leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell thingamajiggy. And as always, thank you very much to everyone who has helped me out so far on the road to World Time Attack. There's another 3 episodes to come, so weekly updates. This one will be out tomorrow if I can pull my finger out.
We're getting pretty good at fixing S13 engine bays, that's for damn sure.
I'm having a sleep. I'll see you on the next update. Thank you for tuning in.